Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, the preps and pep talk ahead of the historic meeting with North Korea, a controversial billion-dollar fine, and a discovery on Mars. Plus, Facebook's mistake, Stanley Cup champs, and the Tony Awards. All that and much more in less than 10 minutes. I'm Erica Mandy. Today is Friday, June 8th. You ready? Let's do this. Well, it's just a few days away now. The historic meeting between President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. The one that was almost canceled, but then back on. If it happens as planned next Tuesday, June 12th, it'll be the first time a sitting U.S. president and North Korean leader meet face-to-face. So, how is the president prepping? The AP says he's not really. Instead, he says it's all about his attitude. He told reporters, quote, "It's about attitude. It's about willingness to get things done." In fact, the president said if all goes well, he might even invite Kim Jong-un to the White House. But skeptics are saying don't get too optimistic. Trump did have a sort of pep talk from Japan's Prime Minister. Shinzo Abe stopped by the White House yesterday for last-minute talks. President Trump is hoping to get North Korea to agree to getting rid of its nuclear weapons, even if it's over time and not all at once. Just this week, the New York Times says it does appear North Korea destroyed some facilities used for testing missiles. The meeting is in Singapore. But before that, the president will be stopping in Quebec this weekend for the G7 summit. The top of the agenda there will likely be trade. The 6 other countries aren't very happy with the U.S. right now. We talk more about why in yesterday's episode. The whole ZTE thing has come to an end with a $1 billion fine, but the company gets to live on. Remember, ZTE is the Chinese telecom giant that makes cheap smartphones, and it uses a lot of U.S. parts. Well, the U.S. said the company violated the rules of sanctions against Iran and North Korea, so the U.S. cut off business and caused the company to almost shut down, until President Trump stepped in and said, "Never mind, we'll make a deal so you can keep all those jobs." Supporters say it's all part of trade negotiations and a strategy. Critics say ZTE's tech is a national security threat. Some lawmakers have even said they'll work to get Congress to block the deal. TBD if it actually works. A discovery on Mars is another sign that maybe, just maybe, there was life on Mars many years ago. Or at least Mars used to have the type of environment where life could have lived. Space.com says NASA scientists found carbon-containing organic matter, aka the building blocks of life, in a 3.5 billion-year-old rock. So to be clear, scientists say this is not actually evidence of past life, but again, it's a step to learning a whole lot more. All right, other things people may be talking about today. Facebook is saying sorry. Again. And you may have gotten a notification about this one. USA Today says Facebook is notifying 14 million people, saying, so about those posts you thought would be just for your friends, they may have actually been public for the whole world to see. Facebook blames a software bug for changing the default privacy settings for millions of users to public without them knowing. It happened over about a week in May. So if it did happen to you and you want those posts to be for friends' eyes only, you may need to go back and change the privacy settings for those particular posts. Of course, it's another reminder never to post something you wouldn't be okay with the whole world seeing. Lyft is teaming up with more than 24 cities to help you take public transportation. So your Lyft could drop you off at the train station and then be there to pick you up as you step off the train at your destination. And the fare it'll show you will have the cost of the train ride in it, although those tickets are still sold separately. Fast Company reports it's all part of a larger app update that's already starting to roll out. It also gives you a new option to walk to certain destinations along a certain route to get picked up there along with anybody else. It's supposed to make it faster if you do Lyft Line, which, by the way, is now called Shared Rides. For the first time in team history, the Capitals are bringing the cup home to Washington, D.C. The Washington Capitals are the 2018 Stanley Cup champs. The hockey game ended 4-3. They beat the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 5 last night to win it all. All right, from NHL to NBA. It's Game 4 tonight in the NBA Finals. If the Golden State Warriors win, they'll win it all. They already beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first 3 games, so stay tuned. Also happening this weekend in sports, the Belmont Stakes. If Justify wins, that'll be the 13th racing horse to be a Triple Crown winner. He already took home trophies at the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. The Tony Awards are this Sunday. Musicians Sarah Bareilles and Josh Groban are hosting. Both have been on Broadway and have landed past nominations themselves. And actually, CBS News says Bareilles is nominated again this year for a song she wrote for SpongeBob SquarePants. Yes, that one and Mean Girls are the Broadway musicals leading the way this year with 12 nominations each. You can watch the Tonys this Sunday on CBS. And that's it for now. Thanks so much again for listening. And I so appreciate those of you who are sharing the Newsworthy on social media and leaving reviews. Like the person who called the Newsworthy a breath of fresh air and the parent who called it a must listen. I love to hear your feedback and stories, and I read all of it. As always, I list all the news stories we talked about today in today's show notes. Just go to thenewsworthy.com, click episodes, and find today's date. Don't forget to grab your free audiobook at audibletrial.com/thenewsworthy. The Newsworthy is ready for you every weekday by 4 a.m. Eastern Time. So we'll chat again on Monday. Have a great weekend.